2 of American Speedfest 12. Welcome to Brands Hatch, always one of the best areas to come to for the NASCAR Euro Series, with so many dedicated fans of the category. 2 more races to come around this short and sharp Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. 1 for the Pro Division, 1 for the Open Division, both of which had very entertaining Saturdays.
Welcome everyone, it's Sunday here at Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, and next to me, Vittorio Ghirelli. What a race weekend so far. Your teammate Dombrowski was involved in a very violent crash on Friday. The whole team rebuilt the car, and in the end you went to second place and you grabbed the championship lead. What do you say about this whole situation?
You know, when we saw the car coming back, it was completely up to pieces. I really thought we weren't able to race. These guys here, they completely rebuilt all the car from scrap. Welded chassis, cut chassis, weld again, cut again, weld again. Then we had to, change the engine, gearbox. Every single piece of the car has to be, rebuilt. And they did it overnight. They didn't get sleep. So I'm really grateful to be in this family, in this team. So this is for them.
The number 30, Liam Hazeemans, will be on pole position for this race since he set the fastest lap of all during Saturday's first race of the weekend in the EuroNASCAR Pro Division. He is our reigning king of Brands Hatch. He'll have to do something special to retain that throne in this second race of the weekend. Paul Giffreau alongside him, looking to make amends for mechanical issues yesterday, and the winner from yesterday, Gianmarco Ercoli, there on row 2 alongside Vittorio Ghirelli. Let's see how this race unfolds then. 38 laps of action to come around the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Good start there from Hazeemans. He leads the way. Giffreau in second position, looking to the inside, but he's going to be wary of Gianmarco Ercoli trying to go around his outside, and it looks like Ercoli might be up to second place. Yes, he is. Great driving from Gianmarco Ercoli. Ercoli really seems to be a level above what we've seen from him this year at Brands Hatch. A happy hunting ground for him, historically speaking. The field making their way through the corners, and Chrysonis straight across the grass there. He did well to keep that in a straight line. The grass will be a bit damp from yesterday's rain showers here at Brands Hatch. Looks a bit packed there in the midfield, and we've got cars off. Huge, huge impact there. 2 cars in the gravel. I think Ulysse Del So was involved with that. The 89 car there, Max Maserati, and the 88 of Max Lanza. Oh, we get a look at it there from Maserati's POV. That was a big, big impact. Thankfully, all parties okay, but a significant barrier repair there, leading to red flags. We finally get back to racing action after a significant delay. Lap 8 of the race as we return to action. And it is Liam Hazeemans at the front still. 2x2 formation further back in the field, and look at Ercoli. He is already on the hunt. Giffreau in third place, Ghirelli having to make the car wide, and I think that was Bruno Mulders there that got forced off the circuit. Mulders, who was trying to challenge for the top 4 and ends up well outside the top 5. He's been so impressive, that young Dutchman, in his first season of car racing. Now trying to get past Thomas Toffel, a little bit of rubbing between the two of them. No harm, no foul, I suspect. Ercoli looking really racy there behind Hazeemans. Chrysonis also looking strong, trying to move back through the field. Chrysonis has had, by his standards in 2025, a fairly difficult weekend. He's become quite used to being a regular podium finisher and race winner. He hasn't quite had the luck this weekend. Martin Dubek in a spin. Dubek, the defending EuroNASCAR Open champion, of course. Always doubles up and races in pro as well. can see just how many fans are there on the banks in the back of shot there. Colin Chapman Way, the road that runs adjacent to this main straight, lined not just with spectators but also with fabulous American cars from clubs across the country. American Speedfest always hugely supported, and this is why. Battles like this, Hazemans, Urkeley, and then Paul Giffreau, your top three. Hazemans seemingly using that upper hand to his advantage. It's going to be a long way to go though, and Gianmarco Urkeley's car looks really strong underneath him. The Illumitech racing machine, which of course is prepared by Cal Racing. A new partnership for 2025 between Illumitech, Gianmarco and the Italian squad. Of course, Retty Jones Racing in the series for the first time this year, and it's that number 30 car from Retty Jones Racing that leads. Technical partnership there with Hendricks Motorsport, of course. A very strong team here in the NASCAR Euro Series. Thomas Dorfel having to defend here from Mulders, who I think just tried a little bit of a bump and run there at Druids. I suppose is the closest corner to 1 and 2 at Martinsville. Rosonis watching on as well. Dorfel making the car very wide indeed, the M Racing machine. Racing in both divisions for the first time this season. Inside line beckons for Mulders as they run up to Druids Bend. And that is going to be 7th place for him. You see Jack Davidson, his next target, in 6th position. Looks like Chrysonis might have an opportunity now to try and do something about Thomas Dorfel. Can he get it done? The answer is not yet. Chrysonis gets a good run there out of Graham Hill Bend. And is certainly not letting Dorfel rest in the slightest. Dorfel getting very loose there around the Clark curve, and surely that's the opportunity that Chrysonis needs. He's got a nose ahead, and he'll get it done before they even get to Paddock Hill Bend. Dorfel looking a bit threatening at trying to get back to the inside, but that's not going to work on this occasion. Of course, Dorfel racing for the M Racing outfit of Van Muller's team. Van Muller, who's had many great duels here in the British Touring Car Championship, in the World Touring Car Championship, and the 55 in a spin. That's really unfortunate for Fabrizio Armetta, who was running in the top 5 yesterday before a penalty for track limits knocked him down the field. He's now well outside the top dozen, as you can see. Garrett Lowe there to his inside. Garrett, who's been, I think, struggling a bit to find the pace here this weekend. Had some issues in quali yesterday and has struggled from that point on, really, has been on the back foot. But looking around the outside here at Paddock Hill Bend, that's always a brave move. Garrett Lowe's been side by side with Armetta now for what, half a lap? This is great stuff between the two of them. Lowe around Druids, he's going to get it done for Graham Hill Bend. Yes, he does. Armetta a bit out of shape there. Garrett Lowe makes up a position. Still well within the top 10 in the championship is Garrett Lowe. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some podiums out of him before the season is over. He's already got a top 5, of course, in his first appearance with us. In fact, no, sorry, it was a 6th place, so a top half dozen in his first appearance with us at Valencia, race 1 of the season. Liam Hazemans, meanwhile, still doing a good job at the front of the field, holding off the charge from Urkeley for the time being. Battle for 5th ongoing. Davidson leaving the door open there for Chrysonis. He doesn't need to be asked twice. Davidson trying to make the cut back here on the run towards Druids Bend. And he's managed to regain the position. Very nice stuff from Davidson. A bit of a veteran's move, in the sense that he knows this circuit and its secrets very well. We ride on board with Hazemans, and Hazemans is slowing. Liam Hazemans with an issue. Urkeley goes by. Giuffreau, I think, was caught out there as well. And Vittorio Gorelli's moved up to 2nd place. Now, was that just a missed gear or something for Liam Hazemans? Or is something worse at play? Either way, he's down to 4th position. Urkeley now leads from Gorelli, from Giuffreau. And Hasemans has disappeared. Hasemans has a problem. His car is limping. You can see him pulled up there. Coming out of Druids Bend, it's over for Liam Hasemans. But Gianmarco Ercoli now stands on the verge of a huge result. 2 wins in 2 races. That would bring him to 5 victories total in his career in the Pro Division here at Brands Hatch. 5 from 12 wins total in the series if he can cross the line this time. That would be a massive record. And it's a record that he scores. He crosses the line to win the race. Gianmarco Ercoli with a double win. Resoundingly, your king of Brands Hatch. Gorelli, Giuffreau, Blake Amolan, Chrysonis, your top 5. What a race from Gianmarco Ercoli. A little bit of fortune goes his way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king of Brands Hatch, Gianmarco Ercoli, you didn't want to touch or see the crown on Friday for video productions, but now you can wear it, you can get it. You will be crowned the king of Brands Hatch. How do you feel?
I told you, I wait Sunday for touch. I wait Sunday, and today I can touch. No, I'm happy for the race. It's a long race because for the accident in the first laps, but my speed was incredible. It was really incredible, but I battled with... Dai ragazzi. But I battle with Liam, who defend really well. I wait and try to push for go the pressure to Liam, but he make a really good job. And I think in the last laps for the fences position, I think he do an error with the gearbox. I don't know.
We have to see.
I'm happy because I think I wait the last laps for try overtake, but in this track is always difficult to overtake.
Very difficult circuit for overtaking. He was struggling to find a way past Hasemans, but now he has the trophy. However, Vittorio Gorelli, still our championship leader in Pro, and courtesy of a partnership with the Lessard family, he will be going to the NASCAR Canada Series at Trois-Rivières in August. That's huge for Gorelli, who still leads the championship. Junior trophy there going to Giuffreau, and Teufel not there on the podium, but winning Challenger trophy. Onwards then to the final race of the weekend, the Open Division, with a very mixed up grid coming into the race.
Hello race fans and welcome to Brands Hatch. Next to me, the latest addition to EuroNASCAR's winners list, Melvin de Groot. You slept now one night. Did it sink in that you are now a NASCAR race winner?
It feels very pleasant and it feels like more victory. So yes, I like it and I get used to it.
How was it out there in the rain yesterday?
Well, the car started a bit difficult. We were fast. I knew it right away. The only thing is, during 2-3 laps after, it got better and better, and I was so confident that I could really go flat out. And I thought at a certain moment, you know what, I'm 5th, 4th. You know what, I'm going to go for first. And I thought all or nothing. The only thing, the visibility was quite difficult, but I had enough confidence, and the car was doing great. So flat out.
Melvin de Groot, a first-time race winner yesterday and the championship leader. That man, Jordan O'Brien, though, is our pole sitter for this race in just his 2nd appearance in a race in the NASCAR Euro Series. He will be leading from pole, courtesy of scoring the fastest lap in yesterday's race. Dubek, de Groot, Mulders, Teufel, and Matthew Ellis, your top half dozen. We're racing. O'Brien there with a good start. He will lead into the first corner, tries to make that number 22 club competition car as wide as possible. 2nd and 3rd place side by side. That's de Groot and Dubek, yesterday's race winner, going up against the defending champion for 2nd place, and O'Brien will be willing them to fight each other for all they're worth so he can drive off into the distance. Oh, and a collision further back. That's Mulders and Teufel. They collided a couple of times there on the run down to Graham Hill Bend, and I think Mulders at the very least has big damage. There's Gambarotto in the 11 car, which of course just won 2 races in the Pro Division this weekend. He knows that car's strong underneath him. Meanwhile, Martin Dubek has already closed in on O'Brien. O'Brien, who has great racecraft from years spent winning world championships in the 5/8 scale Legends cars. He knows what he's doing. The EuroNASCAR are a very different machine. He's done some Lamborghini Super Trofeo driving as well, but nothing quite like the NASCAR Euro Series, and he's got one of the best drivers in the open division in Dubek behind him there. Ellis and Chrysonis fighting it out for 4th place. Matthew Ellis has been another driver turning up heads this weekend. Dubek to the inside line there of O'Brien. O'Brien, I think, feeling that pressure. You can see the car quite loose underneath him there. He's struggling, fighting every inch of the way for traction. Dubek looking to the outside line briefly there at Paddock Hill Bend, but only to try and get the nice run down the hill towards Druids. Right now, nothing doing. O'Brien doing a good job of defending. The American racer has certainly drawn a few eyeballs his way this weekend with how he's been driving in the open division. He'll want to try and hold on to that top step if he possibly can, making the car wide on the run towards Surtees, bouncing across the curb there, has to try and get it stopped and not over-rotate the rear end, but oh, he's done just that. It's so easy to do with the camber there at Clark Curve, and sure enough, through goes Martin Dubek for the lead. He's going to be careful about De Groot and Ellis and Chrysonis all there behind him. Patrick Schauber closing in 6th position as well. Schauber, who had a bit of an anonymous run yesterday in all of those dramas. De Groot and Ellis side by side. Oh, a little bit of a collision there. Melvin will want a good finish here. I think maybe that's why he's let Ellis through, maybe thinking, okay, I think you might want it more right now. Matthew Ellis up to 3rd position. Ellis, who was leading yesterday until he got caught out with a couple of moments at Paddock Hill Bend and then here at the final sector. Thomas Tuffel, meanwhile, is coming to a halt outside Druids. There's already one car stranded there. Claudio Remigio Capelli pulled up a couple of laps ago. And unsurprisingly, yellow flags waving around the circuit with 2 cars stranded on the corner exit there. Well, Tuffel and Capelli might be able to share a lift back to the paddock, but certainly not the race that either of them would have wanted on Sunday here at American Speedfest. Back underway with a slightly extended race now, up to 33 laps owing to that safety car period. Dubek leads the way. O'Brien still there in 2nd. Ellis 3rd. Chrysonis in 4th place. Chrysonis wants a good result here. He's, I think, struggled a little bit this weekend at Brands Hatch. Maybe not quite got the car underneath him that he had at the first 2 rounds, but he gets underneath. Matthew Ellis there for 3rd place. Ellis forced out wide, and in no uncertain terms, Thomas Chrysonis moves through into P3. Big slide there as well from Valentino Gambarotto. A little bit further back in the queue in 7th place. Chrysonis then up to 3rd position, and I feel like for Jordan O'Brien, that's bad news there in 2nd place. Chrysonis, who's proven to be one of the quickest drivers in both divisions this year. That new partnership with PK Carsport has really unlocked whatever the Greek driver was missing in previous seasons, as well as the coaching of EuroNASCAR legend Alan Day. It's all kind of converged to make something quite special happen for Chrysonis in 2025. The top 3, top 4, top 5, top 6, all very close together. In fact, the entirety of the top 10 split by a mere handful of seconds. But Dubek just controlling things, I feel, at the front right now, but I think he might want to try and build a gap as much as possible here, because if Chrysonis can get past O'Brien, It looks to me like Chrysonis has a little bit of an edge of pace. He started on the 5th row of the grid. Here he is challenging for 2nd place. He's going to go around the outside here at Druids. That would be a massive move. Is he going to have the inside beckoning for him at the following corner, Graham Hill Bend? The answer is a resounding yes. O'Brien, though, with a good run out of Graham Hill. Not enough, though, to fire back at the following apex. O'Brien demoted to 3rd position, and Chrysonis then will be on the move trying to get to Martin Dubek. Here's Thomas Dombrowski with a rather wounded car chasing down Gambarotto here. Andres Biers keeping a watching brief on this scrap as well for 6th position. Biers having a good weekend in that number 1 car. Gambarotto squeezing Dombrowski there. Dombrowski, who came into this race well up the championship standings. 2nd in the points, really just by consistency. And Chrysonis has arrived on the back of Martin Dubek, and in getting to the rear of Dubek, he's been setting lap record pace. During this race, he has set the fastest racing lap that anyone has ever set here in the NASCAR Euro Series at Brands Hatch across both divisions. Chrysonis has been on fire, but now he has to get around the number 7 Hendricks Motorsport car. Hendricks Motorsport versus PK Car Sport at the front. Dubek versus Chrysonis. Could be a thrilling run to the flag here if Chrysonis keeps up this level of pressure. Dubek lasting through it nicely in the Orion back machine. We saw there Mikael Bleekemolen's car stationary, and well, if you needed any proof that Dubek was going to be uncompromising there, a bit of a lean on Chrysonis to say absolutely not trying to go around the outside of me. Tavat Kalatsa is stationary, and Matthew Ellis there lays down oil and spins. Patrick Schauber and Andres Biers both in the gravel as well. Lots of cars then stationary at Paddock Hill Bend. There's oil down. And Dominic Schack goes straight on as well. Yellow flags, unsurprisingly. Ellis rolling out of harm's way there. Another car off the circuit. I wouldn't be surprised if this yellow turns into a red. We've got a huge number of cars, and yeah, understandable. We were on lap 31 of 33. And the race will not resume under those circumstances. And so this man, Martin Dubek, will be classified our winner. Chrysonis, Schauber, Melvin de Groot and Matthew Ellis, your top 5. Well, maybe not quite the finish he wanted, but Dubek is in victory lane, and that'll be huge for his title aspirations.
Martin, what a fight with Thomas Chrysonis, what a race. Also with Jordan O'Brien, with Matthew Ellis, a lot of going on there. How do you feel?
Nice. Now I had to ask how many laps was it to the finish. So it was the last lap when it was the red flag. Yeah, it was good. I managed some laps in front of Thomas. So I'm not sure. I think he will be a little bit angry as me. I closed it too much. But yeah, we are back on the victory lane. So I'm happy. After yesterday's race, it was terrible for me because all the race I didn't see anything. There was lots of water. I reported 3 times to the race control that it's dangerous, but yeah, we did it yesterday also and today on the victory lane, so I'm happy for that, and we can fly back home with the trophy.
I think relieved Martin Dubek at the end of that race. Chrysonis was applying huge pressure. Patrick Schauber with a well-earned podium as well. Martin Dubek on that trail to try and win the championship again. He's now tied on points in 2nd with Schauber. Melvin de Groot still our championship leader. Dombrowski and Chrysonis rounding out the top 5 in those standings. The fans at Brands around Victory Lane cheering on Master Trophy classification winner Matthew Ellis. Legend Trophy goes to Melvin de Groot, who wasn't present, so a mechanic had to claim that trophy. And Happy Nessa again winning in the Lady Trophy classification. A great weekend at Brands Hatch American Speedfest 12, delivered as it always does. We now go into the summer break and Most in the Czech Republic as we get into the all-important second half of the season in the NASCAR Euro Series.